Can I ask an honest question? What made people play Valorant? Yeah, I know there was some hype surrounding the game prior. Project A was something I saw circulate on social media, but it was more of a collective, okay, than anything really significant or impactful. Yet still, the game accomplished such a sensationally high number of players, breaking Twitch records damn near. You know who else did that? Apex Legends. Remember when that shit dropped? One Super Bowl commercial, then boom, all of a sudden they had 58 million unique players just 2 weeks, 14 days after launch. How is that even possible? I have a theory, actually. We are transitioning into an era unprecedented. Shit is changing. A lot of shit is changing. Hopefully for the better. Yeah. And with change comes revolution. A lot of revolution. Yeah. However, let's focus on gaming. What do Apex and Valorant have in common? Name a single commercial for either game that you've seen on television. None, right? These games somehow have amassed these massive followings that never pursued any conventional form of media coverage. No trailer campaigns, no demos, no insider looks. They sort of just dropped. Apex even more so. I think they had one Super Bowl trailer, then boom. Next thing you know, 60 million people are playing this fucking game. You know what both games do have in common though? Streamers, Twitch, YouTube, content creators. What if I told you the future of media coverage isn't bombastic trailers, special editions, and pre-orders, but you, the consumer, or should I more accurately describe, the gamer, the individual who, when you are satisfied with a product, will not hesitate to circulate its existence on every platform you have a voice on. What if I told you it's not Fox, or CNN, or G4, or even IGN or GameSpot that cover games anymore? It's Nick830, Ninja, Shroud, ACU, Myth. What if I told you that we are reaching a magnitude to where a streamer can introduce more people to an IP than any major company could ever do as effectively? What if I told you Summon 1G handing out beta keys to 300,000 people will provide more fruitful expansion than anything a media machine ever could? And frankly, I love this. My biggest issue with modern gaming is how most of the developments in the industry are put more into the hands of companies and corporations than the people. Think about how niche and local a lot of gaming scenes actually are. When I think about what turned me on to gaming, it wasn't a brand telling me to buy their shit. It was usually family and friends introducing me to forms of media I would have otherwise never have been able to explore. How many of our dads sat us down and played God of War? How many of our uncles showed us Gears of War? How many of our grandparents bought us our first game consoles? I feel like our association with video games comes not from our loyalty to brands or sponsors, but our loyalty to the people who introduced us to them, and how that emotional connection is what took us on that journey in the first place. I believe everything happens in cycles, and as we try to stray further and further from person-to-person media coverage, inevitably I feel like with all things, we as a society and as a collective have started to loop back to its original format. To that time where your homie taps you on the shoulder about a game dropping and you and him go apeshit, plotting about all the things you can do in the game. Gaming is a unique prospect as opposed to other forms of media because the consumer is what makes the game. Not in the literal sense, but the game itself does nothing. It's not a song or a movie where the interactive experience is a passive one. Gaming is an interactive medium that flourishes when the individual himself invests into it actively. It's reflective on every level of gaming that the player is the most important piece. For no masterpiece can be enjoyed without our consent. Which is why shilling out creative mediums to a corporation would cause significantly more harm than good. I believe the involvement of corporations in the gaming medium has really done nothing but stifle progress. I don't appreciate or respect how most companies simply exploit consumers in various ways, from boo-booing out carbon copy video game formulas, polishing that same fucking turd with a new coat of paint like the 2K series, fucking my wallet until its gaping raw prolapsed wallet hole is void of any cent or dollar, with microtransactions that make a $60 price tag jump up to $460 because you hid all the cool shit behind the paywall, and turning my favorite video game series inside out so you can make it a political mouthpiece for an agenda. Shilling out to corporations compromises video game integrity time and time again. And I feel it's because you're no longer dealing with players passionately working on a project, but businessmen flipping a product for profit. Independent sources being relevant forces to promoting games gives us the power to dictate the course of gaming. I feel more so than any other industry, it should be us that determine as a collective what we should and shouldn't accept. Taking that power out of the hands of the player is kind of why we've seen the steep quality decline overall in gaming. Do you really think that a nigga that deals with stocks and money exchange is going to know how to make a proper Shin Megami Tensei sequel? To bring focus back to my original point, however, Valorant and Apex have taken a road basically untraveled by what was considered conventional means for the longest time. They have embedded a new style of marketing that allows complete and total organic coverage of a game. I think about how confident both developers were in their products, where they were comfortable enough to simply release their games with no advertisement campaigns, and honestly, it makes me think of and realize a much simpler truth. No amount of promotional material, deals, additions, trailers, or microtransactions will ever beat a good fucking game. A good fucking game will net you the net income you desire. A good fucking game will last longer than 99% of the cash cows you see on the market. A good fucking game will leave you in the better standing with the community. Which leads me to my next and final point. How many good fucking games are out there that we've never heard of? A lot of the dominant video games on the market right now are dominant because we know about them. They've been in our minds and hearts for years, and with every sequel and remake, we either hope to recapture the magic we had as kids, or hope the status quo is shook by something new. I mean, me, I'm trying to find the next big thing, kinda, cause I do miss Skyrim. Never mind, I'm not different at all, nigga, forget everything I just said. But how many games could have succeeded, but didn't, because we collectively ignored them? Giving a platform like Twitch, a platform like YouTube, where we can use people, not orgs, to promote intellectual properties allows an opportunity for better games to shine through. And it offers a more free range effect in motion. I want to see more devs, more games, more people, period, use this form of marketing. I don't want to see another $300 million trailer campaign lead to a fucking 6 out of 10 game. Just show me the game, show me how good it is, and make me want to buy it. These are my thoughts and opinions. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. This has been ArchWizard CJ. I wish you all a good morrow, and I'm off for the time being.